Welcome to Women We Should Know with international speaker, mindset reset mentor, author, and your host, Leslie Michaels. With audacious honesty and candor, the Women We Should Know podcast presents the wisdom and life-empowering insights of women who are the embodiments of innovation and social evolution. Please join Leslie as she shares potent conversations that will inspire your personal and professional evolutions. Welcome to Women We Should Know. Welcome back to Women We Should Know. Diving into this new year, we are going to bring you so many amazing conversations with women who are really putting a stake in the ground for all women to excel, for all women to come to a space of greater self-appreciation, for all women to have their own money. This is so essential, and it is the topic today. So as we move forward, enjoy the conversation, and don't worry about taking notes if you're driving or you're jogging. Everything will be in the program notes. Everything will be on the recording. You can come back and catch it later. And when you do, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe so that you will be notified every week when our new episode with another amazing woman drops. Today, I have an incredible woman for you. Thuy Lam is open-minded and heart-centered in her entrepreneurialism. She believes that empowering women with their finances unlocks a flood of potential for the entire world. I could not agree more, and this is exactly why I wanted to invite her today, and I was so honored that she agreed. We have got to start owning our own space in the world, taking up more space in the world, and owning our own money is a really crucial element to that. Thuy is a former certified financial planner turned money mentor. She has 20 plus years experience as a finance expert, helping clients to achieve financial success. Keynote speaker and panelist at women's summits around the world, women's entrepreneurial hubs and chambers of commerce. She is a workshop facilitator and digital course creator. And she is the founder of Money Mentor at Thuy Lam. So I am most pleased to introduce you. And women, now you're going to want to come back and replay this and take notes. It's going to be some juicy stuff here today. Good morning, Thuy. I am so thrilled that you are joining us right here at the first of the year. When better than to start a new financial trajectory?
Good morning, Leslie. Such a pleasure to be here, and I am honored. Actually, I'm so much aligned with your mission to serve and to better, for a better world and for women to thrive in every way possible. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here and to possibly, to potentially have a contribution to your mission.
Absolutely. I know that you will. So let's just ease into this. I would love to hear and for you to share with our listeners, why did you surrender your career as a financial planner? What was the impetus or that light came on moment for you?
I love it. So Leslie, it's years in the making. And what I describe as the key impetus was me realizing that I lost sight of my joy and happiness and this is something that I uncovered after I had resigned in my role as a financial planner, and during what I call the start of my money journey and delving deeper into what I call the inner workings of money. So exploring my relationship with money, which, has made a profound impact on my choices as a child, when it came to education, when it came to career choices, everything that you can think of, because money touches all areas of our lives.
It does.
And I realized that I made that decision to start a career in the financial industry because, to me, I had the natural skill set, right? I was very strong in math and sciences, and especially finances. I had an interest from a young age. So I thought, why not pursue? Because it is a potential for me to make lots of money.
Right. Acquisition,
Right?
acquisition.
Yes. And so I ended up in this role, which I was naturally good at. I really enjoyed the piece of serving clients. However, at that point in my career, I realized my values were not aligned with those of just in general, the financial industry, the financial, or what I call, and I've shared this with you, the retirement or accumulation paradigm, which I was a part of. Yes.
And I would like you to speak to the accumulation paradigm specifically, but please let me not interrupt this story.
Sure, thank you. And so I realized, oh my goodness, like people that I'm serving, and especially the women, even the ones, regardless of the amount of money that they had, little, lots, very wealthy, there was always this underlying fear of money, that they didn't have enough, this underlying lack of confidence that they were not able to make a higher income, the income that they wanted and deserved. One that would allow them to utilize the money for good and for, living the life that they were meant to live. So it didn't come down to just the numbers alone. It was a lot more. And I realized I no longer wanted to be, the person that manages their investments or gave them insurance solutions. I wanted to do something different. I wanted more. And so that's when I started feeling unfulfilled in my career. And I just simply resigned because I didn't know what was next. There was no model for me to follow at the time. This was 8 years ago. In the United States, a little bit further ahead than in Canada, but at the time in Canada, the only other model was, your fee-only financial planning, which again, it's still kind of that same paradigm, right? Supporting the same paradigm. Yes, so I resigned and I decided with, my very good and one of my best friends who was also in the industry, that we would start a business together and we'll figure it out.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
One of the things I love about this podcast is I get to speak with so many women who are creating new models. Right. And I believe that is our superpower as women, that we are inherently creative. And when we can let ourselves step outside of the status quo and the old paradigms and create new models, that's where we're going to see true shifts in our world.
I believe it too. Yes. That kind of gave me, when you shared that, it gave me a little tingle in my neck.
Oh, I love that. So let's talk about this paradigm shifting that you are all about.
Yes, thank you. So yes, I'm going to share my own personal story, and hopefully your audience, your listeners, can relate. What I meant by this paradigm shift is that I had been trained by the industry and as a certified financial planner to help clients to build wealth, to manage their budget, right? So that they have additional money to save for a future retirement date. Yes. And, whether that's age 65 or earlier retirement at 55, whatever that might be, it's centered around a long-term destination. And so what ends up happening is there are a few things in here that what I believe reinforces a scarcity mindset. So number one, I believe that budgets alone, right? They do not work for the majority of individuals. They take time, they're tedious, they're not fun, they're very hard to keep up with. And not only that, when you feel that you're on a budget, it's very restrictive.
Yes.
It causes the tendency for us to judge ourselves. Yes. Oh my goodness, like I think I spent too much money on lattes this month. Right. Or yeah, I bought too much of this. Or so it causes judgment of ourselves, and never mind our partners, our family members. And so that's number one. Budgets, just a really quick recap, for me, produces a scarcity mindset and gets us into all sorts of relationship. And yes,
because what I see associate to that is that, and when we are on a budget, and I had not thought about it in this way until you and I started having conversation. We're on that budget and we're in that scarcity, and we're, bought too many lattes this week or this month.
Yes.
What we do every single time we have those thoughts is we put ourselves in a state of unworthiness, which depletes our self-confidence, which depletes our self-image. And so it has this ripple effect of diminishing us through every area of our life, not just that one extra latte.
Absolutely. And that's absolutely what it does. And it's like, I'm not worthy of this, right? And so I would like to, I propose, and this is what I've utilized for myself, is rather than budgeting and judging ourselves around our spending, it's, the purpose of money, really, it's a resource for us to create and to really use to support the things that are important to us in our life, right? The life that we design and want for ourselves.
Yes.
And so it is meant to be spent. And my personal belief is that each one of us are unique individuals. We have different goals, different priorities. Who's to say that, a latte for me every day is bad, that it's overspending? Because for me, that brings me my joy in the morning.
Yes.
And if I have created the flow of money to support that, then who's to judge?
Right.
Absolutely.
It's how I start my day out, telling myself that this is just for you. This is just for you. Now go out and have a great day.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's what the accumulation, unfortunately, that's what happens is, you feel you need to follow a budget, you feel you have to save a certain dollar amount, and you need to accumulate like $1 million or $2 million to be able to retire comfortably at some point.
Right.
And then so we forget about our joy in the today, living in the present. And right? And how we can utilize our money to support us today and to do good, to make a difference.
Now, I know you have a very strong focus on women. That's what brought us together in conversations.
Yes.
How do you help women? How do you counsel women and support women to have the money to feel comfortable that they can afford their entire lifestyle without budgeting? What is your secret sauce?
I love it. So my secret sauce, such a great question. My secret sauce has actually 3 pillars, Leslie. And number one, I do walk my clients through the journey of taking the time, because a lot of us have not taken the time. We're busy, as nurturers. We're always of service to our families, our roles in our
Yes.
business, to everyone. So it's taking the time out for ourselves to really rediscover, right? What are our priorities in our life when it comes to relationships, our career or our business, our finances? So the pillars that are important to us, and really being able to envision and design that life that we want for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like in terms of our time?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the money resource to be able to support that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first pillar. And once we're able to have clarity around that, once there's clarity, then it's taking a look at, rather than budgeting, it's designing and creating what I call an intentional income and spending plan.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh, that feels, just the words feel so much more free. There's a liberation in relanguaging.
Absolutely. And also the way that it works, the relanguaging, and also it's recategorizing. So what you see in a typical budget is, just all these expense items. But in your intentional spending, you have categories like my health, my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
My enjoyment and entertainment. And so
Mm-hmm.
we have now these buckets that are fulfilling what is important to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And supporting the life that we want. And it's very easy to see within those categories where your money is flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we turn and we shift that to intentional spending, which makes it so easy. It just that mindset shift, and it just feels so good and easy. It makes that transition so much. I guess you call it spending with ease. It becomes restrictive spending to now spending with ease, and it's more, instead of budgeting, you're reflecting on your spending to
Mm-hmm.
see if your spending is supporting your life priorities.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can align, it feels so good. And when you're out of alignment, you just say, okay, I just got to shift a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Now, two things you said that I want to circle back to. First of all, you use the term relationship with money. I speak with very few women who actually would relate to the idea of a relationship with their money. How do you help women build a relationship with their money rather than, quite honestly, so many being slave to their money, the absence of the limitation within?
Yes, thank you. Wonderful. So I love talking about this because this is something new to me, ever since, letting go of my financial planning world.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in the last 8 years that I have explored this. I didn't know that I even had a relationship with money that was
Mm-hmm.
not so healthy,
Right.
as you mentioned.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. And as you were saying, I was a slave to it. I was
Mm-hmm.
overworked,
Mm-hmm.
feeling underpaid, didn't not have time to invest in my health, or
Mm-hmm.
my, spending quality time with family.
Mm-hmm.
All of this was happening with the inner workings of money, because the relationship I built with money,
Mm-hmm.
Leslie, it's about exploring, going back to my young years and re-exploring your memories, your first memories of money, how you grew up in your household, what are some of the money beliefs
Mm-hmm.
that you have
Mm-hmm.
that have
Mm-hmm.
been inherited through the
Mm-hmm.
generations,
Mm-hmm.
through your
Right.
upbringing.
Oh, that generational bequeathment
Yes,
is not always kind.
exactly. So for me, it was, you need to work hard
Mm-hmm.
to make money. You
Right.
need to earn good money to have
Mm-hmm.
a good life. It was around always, dedicated to working, working, working. And that's what I
Right.
became.
Right.
And so for some people, like clients have shared with me, like there's lots of stories where, parents from a scarcity standpoint would say, money doesn't grow on trees.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or just the
Where do you think the
simple,
money for that's going to come from? That was a big one in my
exactly,
childhood home. Where do you think the money for that is going to come from to pay for that?
exactly. You
You know, at 10,
see?
I had no answers.
That's right. And so that is the relationship that starts at a young age that
Yes.
we don't know that we have developed with money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so the what we offer, Leslie, to start to explore deeper the relationship with money, we actually developed a workshop. We call it Unveil Your Money Mask. Essentially, women have the opportunity to complete a free money mask, money personality quiz. And in our complimentary workshop, because this is our way of helping and empowering more women, we offer this free of charge because we feel it's so important to delve and really truly understand our money personality, our relationship with money, and how to
Mm-hmm.
break. Just having that awareness
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
starts the process of overcoming our money blocks, overcoming our money stories to
Mm-hmm.
rewrite new ones that will
Mm-hmm.
attract abundance and
Mm-hmm.
that will shape and change our money habits. And
Mm-hmm.
then in the end, our money results and our life results.
And I trust,
Yes.
Thuy, that you are going to give us either a URL or some way to connect with that so that we can put that on your program notes and all of our listeners can very secretively, because women are very secretive about their money. All of
That's
our female listeners can very secretively go in there and sign up
mm-hmm.
for your complimentary class and
Mm-hmm.
find themselves on a path to financial health, not from having a lot,
Yes.
although a lot's nice, but from having a lot of good relationship with it. You going to give us
Yes.
that?
Absolutely. I would be happy
Okay,
to.
wonderful. Okay, women, it's going to be there. You don't have to tell anyone because we all know we've all been there.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
very few women who have not had profound moments of shame around the whole money topic. Now, one
It's
other thing I
true.
wanted to touch on that just grabbed me when you said it. We
Yes.
were talking about the budgets versus your three pillars. And when you were listing out the categories, you said enjoyment and entertainment. Who has ever seen the word enjoyment on a budget, on a
Yes.
spreadsheet, on the whole? Enjoyment does not exist. I think that's powerful just in the fact that you are languaging that,
Mm-hmm.
naming it, and
Yes.
giving women an invitation to consider that aspect of their lives. How are women
Absolutely.
responding to that really unique and new invitation?
Oh my goodness. This is why I love the work that I do. I'm so passionate. The women, sometimes they're very articulate, and you can see in some of the testimonials. But I mean, a lot of them have just shared with me that it's been life changing,
Mm-hmm.
from, changing and exploring. Well, number one, a lot of times it transforms the relationship, not only with the money that they have themselves, but also with their partners. They
Of
go from,
course.
as you mentioned, shame or no conversations
Yes.
about money. They don't
Yes.
even know. I have couples who've been married for 20 years who don't even know what their husband has in his savings account, in his retirement accounts.
Absolutely. And I have worked with women who were in that position, and then the
Mm-hmm.
husband died, and they thought, they'd been living quite a seemingly lavish
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, and they find out they don't even own their own tennis shoes.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That, and
Mhm.
that's just like that's a relatively good story. I've seen the worst case scenario, which I know there are women, in everyone's network that has gone through this, but what I call financial abuse, which is, it just
Yes,
hurts
we've
my
seen
heart.
that.
The
Hmm.
number of women who have signed on loans, mortgages, business loans, um, and they're left with, you know,
Debt,
um, yeah, debt when their
crippling.
their
Mhm.
husbands leave, and it's crippling. And not only that, but they have they have that in them, that they even want to clear the debts that are not theirs.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right,
Yes.
the beauty in these women. So that could be, the worst case scenario that I see. And so in the sense of, empowerment, gaining
Hmm.
back the power,
Hmm.
that is a big I guess, shift for women when they do this work with us, is gaining back that power in their
Hmm.
life, in their relationships, in their career, not feeling that they're stuck in a career making money just because it pays the bills. So
Right.
coming back again to the word joy, right?
Mhm. Right.
Believing that you can truly do what you enjoy and love and make money at the same
Hmm.
time.
Hmm. They're
Yes.
stuck in a job because it's good money. If there were one phrase I could just wave a magic wand and disappear from our world, it would be the phrase good money. What is that?
Yes. Yeah. So sorry, the word, the phrase good money.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think for me, money is simply a resource.
Exactly.
And
This
it's
idea of good money is crippling.
it's crippling, because
Mm-hmm.
money is neither good or bad.
No, it
It's
is
it's it's a
neutral.
form of exchange. It's neutral.
Mm-hmm.
It's energy. It's a form of exchange.
Mm-hmm. And the
And
words good money become a judgment against the person that does or does not have what is
yeah,
deemed good money.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and that's the profounding effect that language has.
Mm-hmm.
Our
I know.
society. And you had
I'm a
mentioned,
language freak. I'm always picking it apart. Is this helpful? Is this helpful? Is it diminishing?
yes,
I would
yes.
like, we're getting close to the end and I'm not even near through asking you questions, but could we at
Hmm.
least understand why you decided to focus on women? What opened your heart to help women in these areas, in these arenas?
Oh goodness. You know what? I'm a woman myself, and so is my business partner. So that it's and both of us, our moms are have been leaders in the family in terms of finances, and we kind of fell into that position. However, the reality is most women are not.
Correct.
Yes, most women are not. And because of my experience in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
what I continue to experience myself, being not seen as a woman when
Mm-hmm.
there's financial conversations being had, whether with a
Mm-hmm.
banker, a salesperson. That's my recent experience, right? A
Mm-hmm.
salesperson,
Mm-hmm.
they're talking to my husband, not to me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that I'm the decision maker when it comes to money. So it's my passion to really help women, and just in general society,
Mm-hmm.
realize that we really are powerful.
Yes.
We're a force to be had when it comes to money as well. And so there's a couple of gaps. It's that, the knowledge gap that women have, as well as the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just so passionate because I know that it's not out there, and I want to be a part of this, to be able to help empower more women with their money, because I know when women have women are the holders of money, as we had mentioned, it causes a ripple effect in our families, our communities, and our society.
It does. It does. And
Yes.
women can use money also to help and empower and uplift other women and teach other women in the simplest little ways, or in the way of the manner with which they enter a room.
Yes. I 100% agree. And so, yes, my heart lies with women because I understand, being the same gender, and just knowing women, we're nurturers. We care, we're service, and the more in our pockets, more women rise to, having more executive positions, more access to money, and our world will change for the better.
We are not going to. We have this backwards thinking, is my observation. We want to achieve gender equity in order to achieve financial equity. But I actually think we have to start with claiming our financial equity. And then that will empower us to generate and claim and lift other women up until the point that we have gender equality.
Absolutely. Because as we know, a lot of things that touch our lives involves money. And when women can achieve the money equity that they deserve, they have the ability to invest in making that impact, making that difference.
That's right.
Yes.
Whether it is investing in their future, their stocks, their gold, or their silver, or whether it is investing in paying the women that work at their women-founded, women-run business,
yes,
a livable wage instead of a traditional minimum wage.
Absolutely.
The entire society is uplifted. And I know many women who are doing that. They are founding businesses, women founded, all women in the staff or in the organization or the teams, and they're paying livable wages. And they're showing some rather impressive growth statistics from one quarter to the next.
I'm not surprised.
No.
For sure. And that's exactly it. When I mentioned investing, it means, investing back in women, organizations, whether it's women non-for-profits, right? It does, whether it's money or time, but the ability to invest back in the things and the causes that matter to us. And that includes, dear to my heart is women.
And I love that you say time, because time is our one unsustainable resource.
Yes.
We can make more money.
Absolutely.
But we cannot go out and create more time.
Yes. Yes. There is a limit. There is a limit on our time.
It is our one finite resource.
Yes. Yes. And so valuable. And thank you for and for circling back to that, because that's a very important part of the work that we do with women, is realizing how precious our time is, and the way that we invest our time.
We thank you so much for coming and sharing your brilliance, your wisdom. Thank you for sharing that link so that all of the women can, let's see, what's it called?
Yes.
Unveiling Your Money Mask.
Yes.
And access your training program so that they can get a sense of where they sit in their own bodies with their money perceptions.
Yes.
I truly appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much, Leslie. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful day, and let your audience know as well that if they have any questions, if anything came out of this for them, just, I'm available on LinkedIn or on Facebook. Feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to have a quick chat.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because while my longtime viewers all know that I'm going to put every single thing that you will give me in terms of contact information in the program notes. We always have a few new listeners, so I'm glad that you reminded me to let them know that it will all be in the program notes. You do not have to stop your jog or try to write while you're driving. It's all right there for you. So be sure and go and read the program notes, like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Now, we've discussed, and I know every one of you know, that as women, we have not been in the greatest mental, emotional state of health with our finances. As a collective, we all have our good moments and our not so great days. Mm-hmm. Which women do you know who are doing their personal development work, who are expanding their understanding of who they are, who would enjoy and benefit from this episode? Share it with just one friend, 2 if you're really generous today, and spread the word. And also, most importantly, please comment. I am really committed in 2023 to starting these conversations at a whole new level, so that as you comment and either I respond or I send it over to Thuy and she responds, that we actually get conversations going. When women engage in new level conversation, new perspective conversation, magic happens. And this is the year of the woman. So let's dive in there and have as many new conversations as we can. Thank you again for tuning in to Women We Should Know. And as you go through the rest of your day, I just want to remind you, you are stronger and wiser than you are.